Ah, there he is. Godzilla GMK. The supersized Godzilla GMK. The Bandai Japan version of Godzilla GMK. And his little candy figure counterpart. This guy right here is the coup de grace of my collection. I'm a Bandai guy. This guy is my absolute favorite Godzilla Bandai figure of all time. Of absolute all time. There, like, no other Bandai figure that I own right now even so much as matches up to this guy in terms of how much I love him, in terms of paint, in terms of detail, in terms of size. This is my collection's magnum opus. Because I love Godzilla GMK as a movie. I love the design. This thing took me forever to actually get into my collection, but once I got him, I felt like my collection was somewhat complete. So today, obviously, we'll be looking at both of these figures, and at first, we'll talk about the small boy. GMK Jr. over here is essentially just a tinier version of the big figure that we were just looking at. Literally, the only difference between the two, minus the size, are the painted fingernails. Everything else is pretty much spot on. We've got the very bone white and coral reef looking dorsal plates on the back. The detail for the skin looks absolutely fantastic. Godzilla's got those ghostly white eyes up on his face. Just like the 89 Shikugan figure, this little guy is just jam-packed full of the detail. Like, there's really no way you can go wrong with this thing at all. Every nook and cranny. So much detail. But anyway, I can gush about these figures all day. The arms for the little dude can go all the way around. The legs can also go all the way around. And the tail can go all the way around as well. I actually bought this guy on a now dead app thinking that he was the bigger one because the seller didn't specify the size and he only had one picture of it. I mean, I only paid like 15 bucks, so I guess I was stupid on my end. For a tiny figure, he is quite awesome. And if anybody knows what series he's from, please let me know because I would like to see the other figures in this series. And here he is, the supersized Godzilla GMK figure. Oh man, oh man. I've been waiting to talk about this figure on this channel for a very, very long time, so I'm very excited to begin talking about him. So I guess we will start with detail and paint. Now, since GMK Goji is mostly black, there's really not too much to talk about in terms of paint, so I guess we'll just start at the head. Just to get this out of the way, yeah, the head can go all the way around. Look at all that amazing detail. We've got the very strong and evil looking brow at the top of GMK's face. We have the ghostly white eyes, the perfectly painted teeth and red tongue in terms of the mouth. My God, what a looker. Seriously, the closer you look at this figure, the more you get to see, and what a marvel. Sorry, I'm going to be gushing about this figure the entire video. So clearly I'm going to be a little bit biased. But even if I dislike the GMK design, I would definitely have to say that this is one of Bandai's very best. The detail for the skin, the detail on the arms, the detail on the legs, the detail is everywhere on this guy. You will not find a single area without truly eye-wideningly beautiful detail. Moving over to the arms, they can go all the way around without any worry of scratching the paint off of his fingernails. And his fingernails are the classic Godzilla fingernail color. They're white. They're not as yellow as other figures in the series, but they look good. And he doesn't have too much of a spray paint effect on his hand. Not too bad. So that's nice. The other arm can do the same all the way around. That one gave me a little bit of a fight. Pulling back, oh, wow. Sorry. Oh, this figure surprises me every time I look at it. Looking at GMK Goji's lower half, again, fantastic detail from the lower part of his abdomen to his waist to his crotch to the top of his thighs, his kneecaps, his shins. Fantastic detail everywhere to look. Looking at the toes, just like the hands, he doesn't have too bad of a spray paint effect on his toes, so that looks very nice. The detail on the feet and the toes overall look fantastic. You can see like little lines on his toenails. And surprisingly, the bottoms of the toes aren't too marked up, especially since I bought this second hand from somebody on eBay. We got one there, one there, one there. Not bad at all. But yeah, the legs can move. Moving on over to the tail. The tail can move as well. It's a big tail, so moving it in any way, shape is going to take up space. But as you can see, they painted all the dorsal plates up to the tip of the tail. Look at that. Bandai, please, please. Moving on over to the dorsal plates, like I said with the smaller figure, they look like bones and they look like coral reef at the same time, and the way Bandai handled these just looks fantastic. Although, pulling the figure back a little bit, there is a dorsal plate up here that wasn't painted. But that's just a nitpick, if you can even call it that. Look at the fantastic detail on these dorsal plates. The paint is just spot on. On this side, it appears that they're a little bit more black than they are the color that they chose. This really weird bonish blue kind of deal going on. I don't know how to explain the color. Maybe it's just because I'm crazy or something, but I feel like there's definitely more of this color on this side than on the opposite side. Seriously, look at that. Oh, so cool. Even towards the tail, the dorsal plates do look pretty fantastic. They do obviously get much, much smaller and the detail becomes tinier and tinier, but it looks very, very cool. Taking a look at the tag, it is in a protector here, and I really don't want to take it out, so I apologize. We're just going to be looking at the front and back of the tag. I want to keep this in good condition, but here is a picture of GMK Godzilla on the front, smashing through some rocks, and then we have another picture of GMK back here with the 2001 Godzilla golden sticker over here. Truly, 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 from figure to tag, this guy is just beautiful, and I really need to get my hands on the rest of the GMK squad. Well, everybody, that's about going to wrap it up for this episode. Yet again, this is my favorite Bandai Godzilla figure of all time. I don't think Bandai will ever release a figure that I like more than this guy. In terms of the size, in terms of the detail, in terms of the paint, this is seriously one of Bandai's most beautiful figures ever. I know there's a bunch that I don't have. I know there's a bunch that are even bigger than this guy, but as of right now in my collection, GMK is king. But anyway, I'll be seeing you lot tomorrow. We will be wrapping up the Millennium Era with Final Wars Goji and his two little counterparts. So until then, may Skrionk be with you all. Hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.